Hey. I'm back with another pistol range review. This is the Sarsilmaz K12 Sport X. Um, it's an all metal frame. Nice to have another video on my channel of another Sarsilmaz, but it's polymer frame and everything. But this is all metal. Um, it has slide cuts, slide release, but it doesn't have. It's not a ported barrel. So this is kind of just lightens up the slide, and it's look kind of cool. Stainless barrel, kind of flat trigger, mostly kind of flat, a little curved at the bottom. It's metal, it's not plastic. Nice side panel. Grip tech. You have the checkering in the front and the back. Hammer fired. Has a safety. Works well. This plastic. You have adjustable sights back in the back for windage and elevation. No pick rail or anything. This is a pretty smooth shooting pistol. It helps with the recoil because of the weight. Beaver tails, so you don't really get a high purchase on the gun, but it's not bad. Usually beaver tails kind of hinder you from getting higher up, but with the hammer in the back, that's why most of the time you have a beaver tail like this. The cool thing about this is that the slide rides into the frame, like most polymer guns, polymer frame guns, where the slide would ride on top. This makes this a little more accurate shooting gun. So it's always up to the shooter. The gun shoot good, but the shooter shoot good. So we're gonna load this up. Two round magazine. Doesn't really have any name on it except the name of the gun, Sarsilmaz, but no other name of who makes the magazine. So good. It was kind of hard to load them to 17. The last two rounds got pretty real tough. So if you have like a mag loader, some to it. A long reset. It's all the way to the front. So your first thing was that the first thing I know, the trigger is real nice. When you get the hammer caught back, it's kind of like almost like a single stage or whatever. You still have a wall in your brakes like regular, but it's already like say half cocked or fully cocked hammer, so the trigger pulls me a lot less pressure to drop that hammer. So, but the first thing I noticed, of course, is a nice trigger. Any hammer fired, external hammer fired pistol. The trigger seems a little better than internal or striker fire. Striker fire, don't get me wrong, now X just as good. It's more consistent, I guess, every pull, and it's a nice light pull, consistent pull every single time. But there's definitely striker fired pistols out there, polymer pistols that are better than this, right? Or just as good. I just love these types of hammer fired pistols because it's consistent every single time. Like 1911s, same way. But of course, mechanics and SIGs and aftermarket triggers are nicer than these. But The trigger is real nice. The brake is clean. And I noticed after about 3-4 shots um, that that reset goes all the way to the front. That's what it is. Yeah, you know that's probably the only negative I can say about it functions perfect. Very I don't really even have to aim really that great. I don't have to focus hard to try to hit the target. I mean, as soon as you get it there and you pull that trigger, it breaks and it goes right there. So I think that's due to the slide riding inside the frame. Keeps it from moving as much and makes it a little more accurate. Also, it depends on the shooter. But the recoil, because of the weight, and you get more of a high borax on this, meaning you get closer up, higher to the slide, we'll see the barrel more even with the barrel. So instead of it, the recoil going up at you, it's going kind of straight back a little bit more. So you won't feel that much felt recoil. There's other pistols that the slide sits up higher. You can't get close to the barrel. And you're more or less further down here. You can get more of that jump and kickback. Even though this has the beaver tail and it stops you from kind of get high as you want to get, I think that because the slide inside the frame brings it down and helps it to that recoil to come straight back in your palm and not kick up. You can control it very well. The gun doesn't feel like, I don't know, maybe same weight gets feel as like a 1911 type, all metal frame. So I like it. I like it that it cycles and functions. That's like the number one thing for me. When guns starts to have issues and problems and hang-ups and all this, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, like how long is this going to last, right? I know a lot of firearms need a couple hundred rounds, 50 rounds to break in, and some just keep shooting and things keep happening. A lot of times you just hope you don't get a lemon or something that's wrong, and then next thing you know, you're sending it back to the manufacturer, or you're trying to take it to a gunsmith and fix it. Paying more money out your pocket, it's not great. So, another 17 rounder. I don't think they have any magazine for this. You got a slide release, which I'm not it, so it's not good. Magazine drops free. Yeah, it's you feel good and confident when you can shoot. You just feel in your mind that it's going to cycle. Next time you pull that trigger, it's going to cycle, no malfunctions. This is what I feel like with this gun. Sarsilmaz, T-Sauce, you got Gersan and Gersa. I think Sarsilmaz or SAR USA, T-Sauce are kind of like the two top Turkish manufacturer or companies coming out with pistols that are phenomenal in cycle function, so that was two magazines. Yeah, got 50 rounds off. One more usually do 50 rounds when I come to the range. Until I find a pistol that I like, which I do like this one, which I will be bringing this out again to shoot. And the biggest thing now when you shoot all these different pistols, have all these different videos, I know a lot of people want to know after 100 rounds, around 500 rounds, 1,000 rounds, if you had any issues. So there's a couple guns that this is one, and I get a G-Force Arms Exodus. Those are the ones that I'll probably keep shooting more rounds out of. I like to shoot them. They're comfortable. They're accurate. And those are the ones, a couple of the ones that I'll come out and shoot and do more videos, 200, 300, 400 rounds. So if you got a lot of guns and you collect guns or whatever, and you don't shoot them much, that's cool. But go out and shoot them, because what if you buy a gun and you let it sit there for a year, 2 years, and you haven't shot it, and next thing you know, you go to shoot it and there's just major issues, right? People will be like, "Well, buy a pistol and not shoot it." I bought, I see something on sale, it's a great price, I go ahead and purchase it. I get it in and I just throw it in the gun safe, and I just don't touch it for like months on end. It could be busy or just haven't gotten around to it. So yeah, stuff like that happens. But got one more right here for you. Yeah, so I wanted to see how I get hung up on one of them, because I'll tell you, the reset is it's pretty far, and I wanted to see if I was gonna get hung up on that. One thing I noticed that I can't do really on this gun is, like, I always like to ride the slide. I mean, most of your frame is taken up, so really I can't even touch the slide. So I was like, let me make sure I'm not riding that slide. And I'm like, yeah, it's really not it's kind of hard to do that in this gun. So, and then, like I said, this is clear, but the trigger pull, you get just a little take up into the wall, and I mean, definitely, I think it's a little less than 5 pounds. That's what I believe. Maybe not, but that's what it feels like. And then the reset, like I said, goes all the way. I mean, it goes back up to the wall. It doesn't seem that long, but I mean, you see when I come closer, it goes all the way back to the front, and that. If you have a lot of people that shoot and they keep the finger on that trigger and ready for the next follow-up shot, you can get a lot of trigger lock or dead trigger, because you're holding that, you're not letting it reset, especially you're going to reset it all the way to the front. Like I said, it shoots great. It's a good shooting gun. It's definitely accurate. The recoils, impulses, feels nice in your hand when you're shooting it. You never feel like it's just jumping back at you. But like I said, full size, all metal frame, get riding inside the frame, so it kind of eliminates a lot of that recoil impulse or the kickback. So that's it for you. This was a better. It cycles, it shoots, it functions. And what you want, so for more shooting, right? But I'm definitely gonna be taking this out 100 rounds with me. I mean, 50 rounds with me. But I'll be back and shooting this. And, since I do like this gun and it cycles and functions, I'll definitely buy maybe 4 more magazines and just come back out, tear it up for you. Thanks for watching. See you next time.